Alright, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Director Diego here with another After Effects tutorial. Next level After Effects tutorial. I'm giving you guys the next level shows so you can wow your clients, charge more, and make more. Let's get right into it. Now, before I show you this tutorial, it does take a little bit of time to do and create from scratch. If you want to save hours during editing and make editing fun again, you can actually head over to my website by clicking the link in the description down below and grabbing my 3D titles pack for After Effects. This is by far the best 3D titles pack for After Effects with 10 different pre-made 3D animations that are fully customizable. These are going to help you save hours of time, but any which way, I'll teach you guys how to do this from scratch as well. And also, before you start this tutorial, you need to make sure that you have the latest version of After Effects installed and a 3D plugin called Element 3D. I put the link in the description down below. So we have After Effects open. We're going to drag in our clip, or we're going to press Command I on our Mac keyboard to import the clip. All right, so we're going to head over to our text tool over here, click in the middle and write your text. So I'll just write text, and you can actually go ahead and change the font. When we have our text layer selected right here in the bottom left side of the screen, I'm going to press S on my Mac keyboard to open up the scale. Just drag it up. Let's make sure that our selection tool is selected at the top left corner here. We're going to go ahead and right click over here, new solid. I'm going to name it Element 3D. So now that we have our 3D layer, we're going to go to Effect up here, go under Video Copilot and select Element. We're going to click Custom Layers, Custom Text and Maps, Path Layer 1. We're going to select Text. Now we're going to click Scene Setup, and then we're going to click Extrude. And now you have your 3D text right here. So there's tons of different ways that you can customize this. For example, if I want it to be multi-layered, I'll click on the material right here. I'll extrude it, expand the edges, bevel size, drag that up, right? So we have like one layer right here. Now there's default materials that come with Element 3D, but if you want to really take things to the next level and expand your editing, there's actually a pack that you can purchase with Element 3D, and it's called the Pro Shaders 2 pack. And this gives you a bunch of high quality pro shaders that you can use. For example, we got the gold right here. Now, before we do all that, let's go and blend in our environment with the scene so that this 3D layer is gonna match the coloring, the lighting, and the environment of the scene that we're working on. So we're gonna click Custom Layers, Custom Texture Maps. Under Layer 1, we're gonna select Clip. That's obviously the video clip here. And then we're gonna click Scene Setup once again. And in Environment, we're gonna click the drop down menu and click Custom Layer 1 Clip, right? So now you can see that it's matching the color and lighting of our clip. There's a bunch of different parameters you can adjust, like the contrast here, and I kind of like that because it just makes it look, way better. Look at that. Okay, so when we have the extrusion model selected, down here you can see bevel copies, right? You can change that to 2, 3. Now you have multiple layers that you can add to this, right? So for example, let's make this front layer, kind of like some clean metal here, right? And then you can extrude it until you see it popping out, right? So for example, if you go on your last layer right here, we're gonna make the front of it gold, right? You can even create like your own custom pendant, right? If you want for a chain. The back layer is the metal brushed right here. We want it to be something darker so that, the front pops. You see that, right? And then you can expand the edges. That way it creates like an outline, which looks super sick. I'm gonna extend that even more, right? So this is looking dope. The front, you got your metal, and then the back, you kind of have like a back plate in a sense, right? So this looks dope. And then you can even create a middle layer if you want. So now this is what we got. Now it looks good, but I just want it to be more shiny, right? So if we go to group 1 here, particle look, particle rotation, you can rotate it, kind of see how it's gonna look, right? So I like the reflection there. That's pretty dope. What I want to do is go to render settings, physical environment, and drag the exposure up. This is gonna kind of make it stand out more, and then you can bring the gamma up as well to make it darker, and this just kind of makes it pop. Now, if you want the front material to be more shiny, there's other shiny materials. You can even download your own custom materials, but for example, something like that, it's kind of more shiny, but we can keep it at the gold for now. Press OK. And another parameter you can adjust to make this look better is the lighting over here. So you can add your own lighting. There's a bunch of different presets. I'll put red, for example. Click additional lighting here, and then you can raise the brightness. You choose dramatic, group 1. And now what you have is something like this, right? So you can adjust this how you want. Now, in terms of animating the text, there's a bunch of different ways that you can animate it. What we can do is go to the top of our clip, can drag the rotation, kind of like around there, and I'm going to keyframe that. Then we want to click multi-object down here, enable multi-object, and what that does is it allows you to animate each of these. You can animate each letter separately, so this is really cool. There's a bunch of different things you can do, guys. So I'll start it right here. We'll keyframe that, and I'll keyframe the rotation, and then we'll also turn on deform here. But here I'm going to do twist. We're going to click enable, and I'm going to twist the X here and maybe a little bit of the Z. Right, so what that does, as you can see, is you can deform it in so many different ways to kind of do this cool effect. So I'll do a little bit there, then I'll bend that a little bit like that, make sure that this is rotated. And now we're going to make sure that all our keyframes are selected, which they are, and let's drag this all the way to the end. One thing I also want to keyframe is the size of the text, because I want to kind of make it look like it's flying at the screen. There's a bunch of different options and ways that you can animate this, but I'm just going to show you guys this, and then you can play with it and try different variations the way that you want. So we're going to toggle on particle size. So one more thing I want to animate is the animation engine. We're going to click enable. Now what this does is it creates an animation for your text, which looks really sick. Under the animation type right here, there's a bunch of different options that you can choose. I'm going to stay with directional, and I'm going to drag this all the way to 100%. Keyframe that. Let's press play, and somewhere around here, I'm going to put this back to 0 for the animation. That way it's going to come in like this, right? And we're going to drag our cursor all the way to the end of the last frame. We're going to click group 1 once again, and we're going to animate how we want our text to kind of, and we're going to adjust the keyframes. So we're animating our text. Got the rotation. I'm going to do a little bit of that. We got our twist, which I'll do like that, and then I'll drag that like that. Cool, that's dope. Now I want to make sure that motion blur is turned on. If you don't see that there, click toggle switches, and then you'll be able to change different parameters there. Now in your keyframes, you can actually adjust the easy ease in. I'm going to select both these keyframes, right click on them, keyframe assistant, and I'm going to select easy ease. That way it kind of like eases into the animation, and it's not so like linear and robotic. I want it to flow. I want it to kind of be smooth, you know? So this is what we got. Just gonna adjust how this appears a little bit, and then we'll go here and kind of just rotate this a little bit. That's good. Instead of the rotation here, I'm just gonna get rid of it, to be honest, and leave it like this. And let's see how this looks. Of course, you can create 3D titles directly in After Effects. This is how you do it, but it is definitely time consuming and involves way more steps. So if you'd like to save yourself hours during editing, I've put together my own 3D titles pack for After Effects. They're fully customizable, super easy to use, and I personally use them all the time. If you're interested, just click the link in the description down below to grab the pack and speed up your workflow. And if you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single tutorial. Feel free to comment below what tutorial you guys would like to see next for After Effects, and I'll see you guys in the next video.